Crypto Sniper here. How are you? Yep, it's a weekend. Coming up, coming up, coming up. What's coming up this weekend? Lots of good things for the altcoins in our worldview. Yes, indeed. We'll be talking about that. This is going to be a super short stream, but punchy. So we'll get straight on with it. Also, by the way, link shared right now. We're going to do a much deeper dive on crypto and how, why, and what you should be doing. Should be back in ETH. Maybe you could have just taken some off for the spills that we saw coming. That's what we were sharing with Premium. We've been adding it back on later down. Falling wedge, 3 legs. We'll show you all about that. And we're going to talk about secrets, special little secrets not yet told to you. Privacy coins, indeed. Yep, so we'll have a shoot on my privacy list and you'll see how they've been pumping. We've been waiting for this theme to come, the likes of Monero, Dash, Zcoin, XVG, etc., which was Verge, by the way. Let's get straight to it. But most importantly, to get that trading day, that live trading day that we will be doing today with the non-farm number as it comes out. Wham! As it comes out. Used to be a very significant event. Sometimes it still is big. Sometimes it's a guide for future stimulus. Oh, the economy's not so good. Oh, it is so good. Everybody's doing whatever. There's all sorts of frauds, fakery and fuckery that goes on nowadays with stats, of course, as you know. But we will be trading the traditional markets. We've had a belter, silver, gold, palladium. We're waiting for our big gift entry on oil. We're going to look at all of that. And we're short Palantir. And we'll be looking at other things that we're long in the traditional markets. Then we'll come to what we're talking about today, crypto. And we'll do a much deeper dive for a much longer spell. And we will lay down our trades. And the key thing about trades is you've got to know when you're getting in. You got to use limit orders, not market orders, where your stop placement is if you're using leverage, and what you're asking for it. That lets you go play golf over the weekend and not have to sit on the screens and react and device and all of that. That will wear you out. It'll burn you out. It'll destroy your nervous system. It'll ruin your eyes. You'll get piles from all the sitting, and then you will still end up losing money. It's far better to let the market do what it's got to do. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. You've got to do all those things. Let's look at some charts. So let's go straight. I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to go actually and show you Ethereum. We'll come back to that one, which is Alpha. Little fave of ours that we're watching, a smaller token. So Ethereum overnight. By the way, this is probably, since we last streamed, the last crypto stream was the gift alt weekend last time. Everyone has been super bearish. Not everyone, that's over characterization. A lot of people were super bearish. You may recall, how have we guided you? Let's just do a quick recap on crypto. We said to you, a walk out recovery for Bitcoin with up legs and down legs, but a walk out recovery within the range. This is all post the pain of the people that were over leveraged. Don't be one of them. Money management, methods, stop losses, targets. That is the declared range, roughly the 65K down there in the 47. We said you're going to walk out to the upside. It's going to be slow, moderate. Up leg will be followed by down leg. People got scared over here. We said falling wedge, you're going to go back in. You want to add your alts there. What had happened? Bitcoin recovered. Then into a rising wedge. A bit of a sell there. We said, watch out. It is going to have a little bit of a rest. You got a big funnel level that's going to come and test that funnel level again. That was what we said, but we said in the long run, you want to stay largely long your alts because relatively they're overperforming. All those people that gave me grief about the FBTC, that was never going to happen. What's happening now? Yep, it came about. You had to wait. You got to be patient in markets sometimes. Indeed, we understand. You can be right. You can be wrong. It can take a while. Now there's down leg. Let's just recap what happened in there. So we said, yep, 3 legs to a down leg. So you got a drifting off. You got a drifting off here, which was taking back 100% of that bull spike, which, by the way, just ran to a key level of significance, which was an area we expected. Localized rest, don't forget, of 57K, running right through that. You see that number. The SO level, oh, isn't that funny? That 55.5 the soul level, we call it. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And it's run straight through the middle of our funnel. Key levels of significance. You learn that when you learn HVF method. Key aspects. We've got a 59,500. We think it's going to take a long time if it gets there to get there, but it's trading within that range. The 47 and the 65 you now can't see at the top. So it's consolidating. It's not the place to be for long, but it's not the big short that everybody thought it was, that they were petrified of. Not there when it had a rest, not here when it had a rest, and even here, not now. You can see it's inching up again. This is a frustrating market for people that are trend traders to trade. We said, don't be trading it. You just need it to not be dying. You just need it to not be dying hard. It can even come off a little bit, but not to be dying hard. And this allows the relative overperformance category that didn't start running in July last year with the big break on our first cup gold nugget like Bitcoin, that are playing catch up right now. So what you should be doing is you should be in the alts, and then you've got to be selecting the right alts. This is what makes a massive, massive difference. This is what takes you to 7 digits and 8-digit type accounts. This is key times, but you've got to know where to play and what to be doing it. And you can find out more trading today. In fact, about an hour and a half, we'll be going live. That's 2:30 with the traditional markets. Grab the link below. You can get 1 visit or you can get 3 for the price of 2. Go and do it. And then you can decide whether you like us or not. Easy, simple. Try before you buy. Why not? So Bitcoin working its way out. It's not going to be shooting any lights out. What it could do, moderate ups and downs and mess around and then ease again. It could set up some upside structure, or it could just bounce around inside of this range. Largely the volatility has been shaken out of the big spill that took you down to 47. But it's with a kind of recovery lope. It's not exciting. So as long as it's doing that, it allows the others to do what they do. And the big star indeed has been, of the big majors, of course, has been Ethereum. Ethereum and the Ethereum perp. And you had a 3-legged downer, and I think you're going to base and re-go. Note, this was our concern when we saw this. We saw this and we said, right, it's either going to melt up on that key inflection point and do type 3, or if it starts coming back down and bounces on the roof as it did, it's doing a type 2, which means it's going to have a relieving sell-off leg. And that's what it did overnight. Sell-off. If you were still in it at that page, you get the 50% retrace of that move. That was 3.6. That was 3.4. You climb out on 3.5. And you're buying back in as we've been doing down here. Why? Because it's had a falling wedge breakdown now, and it's going to probably pop and be impulsive. That doesn't mean it necessarily goes straight to a new high, but it will come back into these higher echelons. It might wind up. It might make a rising wedge. In other words, it could do that. Lots of interesting things. So overall, we are calling, providing Bitcoin, which we feel is fine, is inching around, another alt weekend for select alts. Now, a category. We haven't been able to talk on the bullish side, particularly in this alt run, that is now exploding and is moving very fast, is your Secrecy tokens. Monero. Now, that's not a call to buy right now. It's to say privacy is waking up. Privacy is waking up. Look at that. Now, again, we teach about key inflection points. I was just updating the guys on this one here. This is it. Really, really tight. Squeezy, Japanesey. In you go. And you had lovely little key inflection point there, which is like an HVF method structure, but only in a rising wedge, where you get really low volatility. Again, 3 impulses to the upside. 3 impulses to the upside. There's your big one, your first correction, your big one that makes marginally higher high. This kind of price behavior kills retail traders because they all breakouts. They trade out the resistance has been taken out. Everybody who trades support and resistance typically loses money. That's not to say it's an invalid concept. It is a very valid concept. But when you're in a dip buying market where the buyers are coming up under the price behavior, it makes marginally new highs and people are backing off. The big buyers are not buying anymore. And then it fizzles back down. As it comes on the dip, they're coming up under the price. Those people buy on limits. That's how you get the footprints of rising wedges and falling wedges. This is clever money. And then it runs away. It runs away. Is that an entry long? No, it's probably going to rest. You got a shooting star. But you need to put Monero back on your watching list. Monero. Privacy. That means instead of having a bull note where it records who was the last transaction and everybody else who's transacted, you actually get true fungibility. It's anonymous, like cash. That's the goal. Who else is in that secrecy realm? Well, there's quite a few. But let's just also show you XMR versus BTC. Lovely rounded bottom. So do your relative assessments. You can see that was a bit of a falling wedge in there, plus super low vol, little bit skippy as it was breaking out. You get a pump, no surprise. Nice rounded bottom there, by the way. Who doesn't like a rounded bottom? He always says. Yes, another testosterone morning. Indeed, indeed. So ZEC, let's have a look at that. That is Zcash. Falling wedge. Note your three impulses. Let's do it properly. There we go. Let's get him back in the frame. Thank you. That's against the meaningless fiat. That is US dollar. One. Let's do fatter Koki. Undo. So these are your privacy hits. There's one. Regularly you get an inverted HVF in your second impulse. There's your two. And there's your third, which actually turned into a flag like that on an up leg, and out you trade. Nice little flag rest, and out you trade. Taking out the funnel. Funnel. Key levels of significance coming back to support there. Skits, and then you run. Is that a surprise? Not to me. Price behavior. Price behavior 101. Get your doctorate on real price behavior and understand what comes next on balance of probabilities more often than not by learning charting and not focusing on the dog shit that is moving average, lagging indicators, all sorts of mathematical formulas churned through aging price data. There is nothing insightful in that. The price is the indicator. The price is the indicator. And volume. You've got to understand the things that matter. What is your real data? The real data is the price. The real probability scenario is the pattern. The real gift is the squeeze with tight risk and expensive breaking moves. Can you understand these principles? Therefore, you should not have RSIs. You should not have MACDs. You should not be fucking around with wasteful, useless shit that are blogging up your goddamn computer screen. You got to get wise, guys. It's time to do proper trading with real price action. We'll be doing it non-farm payroll right here, and you can book and come and look out. Look at your key indicator, price and volume. Look at your gifts, pattern and volatility. Everything else largely is garbage. Never mind Ichimoku and all the other nonsense that I see of lagging moving average and garbage. There is so much dogma in technical analysis you need to eliminate. Okay, that's what you're hearing from me. Sounding punchy, sounding up for it. Yes, Zcash. What about Dash? How's Dash done? Let's give you a little show of that after giving you that shock therapy there. Dash, indeed. Dash for the cash, another falling wedge. You can see that there's actually some commonality and correlation here. This was, of course, the Bitcoin sell-offs. Very nasty initial sell-off. Squeeze a little bit there, second impulse, and then go. Understanding the nature of price behavior is far more important than any form of mathematical formula, guys. And the amount of people that repeat it because that's where they started. No one ever asked, why are we still doing this? It's like riding a bicycle, a penny farthing bicycle every day. It's absolute nonsense. Technology has moved on. Here you go. Big move coming out of that falling wedge. But is it a chase in now? Absolutely not. I'm showing you things that have been. You want to find out more about what I think is going to be coming next? You can join us in literally an hour on the non-farm payrolls. Look at that. Shooting star. Okay, good. That's Dash. Done pretty well recently. They have lagged, however, and you should also be comparing these things to the Bitcoin alternatives. So that's XVG, similar structure. So you're seeing in the sell-offs in Bitcoin had a similar effect on most of the privacy coins. Very, very similar. And eventually they had a floor. The third and final low, marginally lower low. You'll learn all these things. This is far more valuable than what's the current value on a 4-hourly RSI. So out you break, you have your return move rests. You took a while to get going, and then you go pumpy mac pumpy. That's it. By the way, against Bitcoin, also set up decent structure. So look at these things across Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself, we're building BTC value. We don't measure in fiat anymore. And you could see that there was a similar degree of structure, and it's broken up nicely. None of these should be a chase into now. What you want to do is create your own privacy list, put all on there, and then wait for a little bit of a possible pullback and wait for some pattern structures. What outside of privacy is setting up pattern structures right now? Well, we'll be showing a few of those to you on the crypto finds as we look for trades in the market. And one of them, as I was saying, is Ethereum has just finished a kind of falling wedge like these privacy coins have finished. Did you see what came next for all of these? Once they were done with their falling wedge and the pump that came. In fact, this was a better example. It was Zcash. Did you see what came next? Well, Ethereum has just finished that. Ethereum has just finished that. You want to know where Ethereum is right now? It's round about here. It's round about here. How do you think about that? You want to see it? You want to see it? Well, it doesn't mean by association you're going to do exactly the same thing, but you should be trading higher. Remember, these are smaller tokens. It takes much less money to move it such as a percentage, etc., etc., etc. So this is an indication of proxy nature, not a identikit. You've got to understand probability and things being different. We always want to see the things that are the same, and we do not recognize things that were different. Ada had a good time. Ada, by the way, got put onto Kraken. You can stake on Kraken now, I'm told. So now staking for Ada on Kraken. Watch that exchange for the super spikes to the downside and the upside. Almost better to have a really big account if you do and have mental stops. And don't trade oversized in events of that, and don't overwatch. Otherwise, if you've got a moderate size account, bear in mind, you've got to, they have some skittish wicks. I'm not a massive fan. Again, but you can see that this was, again, part of the Bitcoin sell-offs. You have three. There was inverted structure, spiller, another inverted structure, spiller. Then you have double bottom, failure to make a new low, absolute low. So you have a marginally lower low here to the previous low there, and then you have a failure to make a new low. You could have been in there on the break of the flag. That's just basic technical trading. That's not HVF setup trading, but it still didn't work too bad for you, did it? That's what you can learn to do. Real price behavior. Okay, let's have one or two questions, and then I'm going to rip you through to the big ones that we really, really like. I see Horam's in the house, and he's decided to tell you about BTT, so I may as well cover it. Let's go. It's one of those that we're watching. So give you a bone in terms of what we like right now. Down. So why do we like this guy? Well, he did very well for us last time. You may remember he was one of our first runners with Binance's first run. Plus, he set up an inverted HVF here in a hybridized way for a shoulder with a funnel. And we have an upside, a good snapback rally after that plunge. So real value buying. That set up a floor. So we were getting in long here. Great news for us on BTT. Great news. I had to hang on. I started getting in here and I went into the red with this bugger because he had an extra dip as Bitcoin had another offish day. But the floor was now clearly there. It didn't run that one. So we had an extended RL2. So we added some more. Nice little pop there. And then we were watching it in that little micro time frame, and it gave us further setups likely to break to the upside, which it has now done. And we're looking back through the 1 cent, which it has done once before. There's the key level of 1 cent. So BTT, and all of this, by the way, is an inverted head and shoulders as well as an upside HVF. Lots of pattern behavior in there. You've got that one on the house. Thanks to us. There'll be more possibly in the trading day when you come and spend some time with us. That's all I've got to say. I'm not going to take too many questions. This is just a quick heads up stream. You want to participate more about what we think is going to be happening this weekend on crypto. You need to grab the link below. Book yourself a live trading day with us. Francis, I do it. Nobody else. No bots. And by the way, for those of you that I don't know if I'll get any value out of this. You will see how we analyze charts. Here's your reasons as to why it will be beneficial. It'll be the best $197 you spent. You can actually get 3 of them for twice the price. You will get an opportunity to see how we actually analyze charts, how we debunk the fluff. We don't have any dogma in our analysis, how we go about real price behavior with the biggest indicator, namely the price itself, the volume, and the key patterns, and the structure in terms of how prices typically move with real scenario casting, templating, and forward-looking trade-based ideas that give entries on limits or stops, not at market orders, that give real stop location and real expansive trades. That is the key to building your P&L, guys. That's it from me. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, it's cool. Just carry on free viewing and see what you can learn. But at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. All the best. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Thanks for popping in. We will see you in the ether of crypto land. Bye for now.